102nd meeting between these two teams. KC leads the series 53-46 with 2 ties. And we take a look at Todd Haley in his first year as the head coach of this team, and he's a very positive young coach, 42 years old, 13th head coach in the history of this program, and he feels that once he gets his guys, this Kansas City Chiefs team will turn around. Same situation for Tom Cable in his second season as the head coach, and he has history on his side. Oakland won week 1 13-10 over this Kansas City squad.
The Chiefs have won in this building 6 years in a row. 2002 is the last time the Raiders defended this turf against this Chiefs team. The Chiefs have had good success here.
Jonathan Holland back deep. Ryan Suckup will kick it away. Chiefs, Raiders, and we're underway from Oakland. Here's Holland inside his own 5. And Holland running. Very good return, gets all the way up to the 30-yard line. A return of 26 yards. Maurice Leggett with the tackle. So that brings out Jamarcus Russell. He has an incredible arm, incredible athletic gifts. He's still learning the game. First down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Play fake. Russell underneath, and the ball is caught. Chaz Schillens with the reception with McFadden in the backfield. Here's the handoff. Michael Bush over the left side. Bush running hard. Breaks it down the sideline. Can he get there? Michael Bush still going. He's tripped up inside the 5. Brandon Carr with the saving tackle, but Bush with a 60-yard rumble. No flags on the play, and the Raiders are in business.
And this is what's given the Chiefs a lot of problems this year, Gus. They have guys at the point of attack. You see right there, Tyson Jackson's got a good hit on him and misses the tackle. The Chiefs have given up a lot of big plays that have really cost them football games, and here they start out today giving up one right off the get-go.
So Oakland, first down and goal at the 4. They give it to Fargas. And Fargas gets close to the goal line. For the Raiders this year in the red zone, 11 possessions, the fewest in the NFL. They've scored 4 touchdowns and 5 field goals. That's a 29th ranking in the league.
Yeah, they only scored 4 touchdowns in the last 6 games, and they've never scored more than 1 in any of those games. So they've had some problems. Now, Fargas scored 2 weeks ago right before the bye against San Diego on a play just like this, down close. And I like Justin Fargas in this situation. He's got a good nose for the end zone, and he runs very hard in there.
Second down and goal at the 1-yard line. Fargas lines up as the deep back out of the I formation. Russell the up back. Here's Fargas. Touchdown, Raiders. Justin Fargas with his second rushing touchdown of the season, and the Raiders strike first blood.
It all comes back from the big play, Gus. That's the one thing the Chiefs would love to stop doing. They play good defense for a lot of these games, and they give up plays like that, and it just kills them. Sebastian
Janikowski comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 7-0 Oakland on a 4-play drive. Covering 70 yards, they score in 2:18. Raiders score on their opening drive for the first time all year. Great effort. Justin Fargas scoring the touchdown set up by the Michael Bush 60-yard run. 7-0. Raiders with the lead here in the first quarter. Oakland ready to send it away. Janikowski will send it to Jamal Charles. Charles, a second-year player out of Texas, bobbles it, picks it up. And Charles dives forward and gets to the 15-yard line. Jonathan Holland with the tackle on special teams after a 15-yard return. Brings down a 10 at the 15. Jamal Charles in motion out of the backfield. They throw it to the far side. And Charles trying to find some room. John Alston brings him down, but there is a flag on the play. Mike Carey, your referee today.
False start. Offense, number 45. Please put 12:38 on the game clock.
They add Chris Chambers last Wednesday, and what did he do? He went on to score 2 touchdowns on Sunday against Jacksonville. Here's Castle going up top for Bo, and he brings it down. But they call it an incomplete pass.
And that's the 11th attempt. Somebody tried to complete a pass. 11th time somebody threw a pass at Nnamdi Asomugha. You see here trying to get it in. Bo getting to the outside. It looked like he came down with it, but the ball came out. Asomugha just doesn't get much action, Gus, because he is so good. A college safety. It took him a little while to get worked in at the corner, but he's the highest paid player in the National Football League for a reason, and you'll get a chance to see it today.
Great size, 6'2", 210 in his 7th year out of Cal, 3rd and 17 of the 8. Here's Castle, flag on the play. Castle steps into his throw underneath and throws a rocket at the 25-yard line, which is caught by Bo. But let's see the penalty.
And it's going to be just shy of the first down marker as well, even if it's completed.
And this will go against the Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be a depend on now. We've got a decision to make because it's going to be very close to the first down on a 3rd and 17.
And they get 16 yards on the play.
Yeah, if they don't get the first down, they have no
Offside,
choice.
defense number 93, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Yeah, they'll have to take it in this situation.
That's Tommy Kelly, the defensive tackle, jumping offside.
Right there, you can barely see him inside. You see there, he just leans forward, and that's what makes the offensive lineman, the lineman, react to his movement. He's in the neutral zone when the ball is snapped. It's so close to a first down. You see now they've got a big conversation going on about whether they want to be 4th and a half or 3rd and 12.
Let's see where they spot the ball, because the Chiefs are pointing as if there may be a first down.
Yeah, it's very close to it, but I think it's going to be just short.
They may have it, Steve, by a nose. Let's see.
And then obviously, Gus, in this case, you decline the penalty, take the first down. But it's, now they got to make a decision. They got to find out.
It was a dead ball foul. The jump in the neutral zone caused an immediate reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's not encroachment, but neutral zone infraction. I don't think anybody cares. It's the same penalty.
Well, Todd Haley cares because they're not able to pick up that first down. They may have had the first down, but because of the neutral zone infraction.
It's interesting. Oh, I see. You know why? Because it was a dead ball foul. That means the play didn't count no matter what. So the play didn't happen. They didn't complete the pass. That's why it's important. And Todd Haley wants an explanation of it. It was a dead ball foul, so the Chiefs have no choice. When this happens, the ball hasn't been snapped. And watch the linemen react. You see all the linemen react to Kelly jumping in the neutral zone. That play is dead right there. And that's why it was very important for Mike Carey to come out and explain that, because the play never happened, even though it could have been a first down.
Doesn't take long.
That's a very rare time when the Chiefs got the wrong end of the deal, when they actually had the penalty committed against them.
So now, instead of a first down or a possible first down, Chiefs are faced with 3rd down and 12 at the 13-yard line. Look at them on 3rd down conversions, last in the NFL. And they talked about no more 3 and outs. That's what they told us yesterday during our meeting. They want to move the football, play with a sense of urgency. Almost as if from the very beginning of the game they're behind. 3rd down and 12 at the 13. They need to go to the 25 for a first down. Out of the offset eye, play fake. Castle stepping out of the pocket. He's got room, fires across the field. And it is intercepted. Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson tracked that football down, and the Raiders force a turnover already. Welcome back. Just a picture-perfect day. There's Alcatraz, Treasure Island, and a beautiful shot of the Bay Bridge. All those sailboats out there. Beautiful part of the world. And Chris Johnson with a beautiful interception, his 3rd this season. Raiders now with a first down and 10 at the 33-yard line. And Jamarcus Russell drops back to pass, in a little trouble. Steps up in the pocket, throws it underneath, and it's caught. Out of the backfield, Michael Bush. And they're running the football. This is Fargas over the right side. Brandon Flowers with the tackle, gain of 5. First down, Raiders.
And the Chiefs once again getting gashed by the run game of the Raiders. The Chiefs are pretty good up front, Gus. They seem to have a guy in position to make a tackle, and it's just, you get a guy like Fargas or Bush or McFadden in open space, and the Chiefs are having a hard time bringing them down. There's so many missed tackles and guys being left standing behind the running back as he runs past him. You got to throw your hands up and say, you know, what's the problem? They got him in the right spot. They're just not making the tackles.
So the Raiders pick up a first down at the 46, and here's the wild hog. Now, a very interesting story. Darren McFadden played his college football at Arkansas, and there his coordinator was a man by the name of David Lee, who created the Wild Hog offense, which is now morphed into the Wildcat offense in the National Football League.
That's right. And McFadden's comfortable with it. Of course, you know, every guy who runs that, Gus, they all want to throw the ball. And we'll see if the Raiders give him a chance. I don't know. There's Jamarcus Russell standing there watching.
You're going to see a lot of Wild Hog today. Here's McFadden handing the ball off, and it's Johnny Lee Higgins. He gains 2 yards on the play, but McFadden's coach in college, David Lee, who was his offensive coordinator, is now in the NFL with Miami. And he instituted the Wildcat offense with Ronnie Brown, and it has just swept the league. I mean, you're seeing team last week, Miami, Steve, they were running the option.
Yeah, and it's become such a part of the league now. The teams have had success with it, and it's forced defenses to have a plan for it. So when defenses spend a lot of time preparing for that package, they don't spend as much time preparing for this kind of down, a regular down and distance.
Third down at 5 of the 49. Jamarcus Russell back to pass, throws over the middle, and he has Johnny Lee Higgins, but he won't pick up the first down. Some good open field tackling. We told you about this kid, Brandon Flowers, second year. Out of Virginia Tech, started as a rookie, and he continues to play good football.
Yeah, and Russell drops back, sees Higgins come across. It's a good throw, and right there, I put this on Johnny Lee Higgins. He's got to stick his foot in the ground and turn right up the field to get the first down. That's when a quarterback, you know, that's the design of the play. Throw it short, let the guy fall forward for the first down, and Higgins couldn't do it.
Savage back. Shane Leckler holds the NFL record with a gross average of 46.8 yards per punt. He is one of the all-time greats. Aussie kick now, end over end, and the fair catch is made inside the 10-yard line. First down and 10 at the 9-yard line. Matt Castle, second drive of the game for Kansas City. Castle out of the shotgun, hands it off. Colby Smith looking for some room, and he won't find anything. Kirk Morrison along with Richard Seymour. No gain on the play.
You know, we spoke to the Raiders on Friday, and you could just sense, Gus, for a team that's struggled as much as they have this year, they really seemed refurbished. They seemed refreshed. They were upbeat and loose. They really were ready for this game.
Second down and 9 at the 10-yard line. Empty backfield for Castle. 5 receivers. Here's Castle. Good time. The sideline incomplete. Lance Long, the intended receiver, formerly on the practice squad with Arizona, brought over here by Todd Haley. They consider him a poor man's Wes Welker. And that brings up third down and 9 to the 10.
Well, this Raider defense is talented. There's no question. I think when we come in here and you study these two teams, you'd have to say right now, even with their records, the Chiefs are a little bit of a better football team, but the Raiders have more physical talent. That's always been their trademark, but they're a team that you can beat if you're disciplined and don't make mistakes.
Third down and 9 to the 10-yard line. Chiefs need to get to the 19. Castle in the shotgun again. Signals for Chambers, and a flag.
Delay. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still third down.
The Chiefs have really struggled in their first 2 series. They had bad field position because of a kick return and then the deep punt by Leckler. And now they've given themselves a couple of penalties that have backed them up. They've, delay a game. They've got to weather this early storm back there with their backs right in front of the black hole here in the Coliseum. They've got to get this game and keep their poise in a tough situation like this.
Third down at 14 at the 5-yard line. Once again, the 19 is the first down. And another flag. And this will go against Kansas City, a false start.
And this is a crowd noise issue, Gus. They're right in front of the black hole. Right behind there, you see Mike Carey. Right behind him in the back of the end zone there are all the costumed heroes here in the Coliseum. It's going to be, they had a procedure call. Now they're talking it over as if they're going to change it, but I don't think they will.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 93, jumped into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And there you take a look at the crazies. Tommy Kelly, a neutral zone infraction against him.
Man, that's the
again.
That's the second one. And that it gives you a little chance to breathe if you're the Chiefs.
So that makes it 3rd down and 9 at the 10-yard line. Castle. And has that one knocked down. Richard Seymour just batted down the football.
Yeah, his former teammate tried to throw it last year. Matt Castle and Richard Seymour were teammates in New England, and now they're facing each other, and Seymour gets right up, gets his hands up, is exactly what he's supposed to do. Castle tries to throw it right through him. It's just not going to work. Seymour's right in his face.
Richard Seymour brought in here to bring leadership to this team. Didn't come into camp until the week of their first game, but like Michael Strahan a few years ago, they didn't need him. He was in shape and is playing excellent ball. Dustin Colquitt sends it away. Johnny Lee Higgins is back. He starts from the 44-yard line. Makes the first man miss, gets down the sideline. And Johnny Lee Higgins out of bounds inside Kansas City territory. That's a 46-yard punt and a 9-yard return. Terrence Cooper with the tackle on special teams.
Yeah, John Alston just made a block in the back on the thing. It's going to come back right at the point of attack right there.
Here's the return. Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 55. 10-yard penalty. They keep the ball. First down. Timeout.
Welcome back to Oakland. Raiders with a 7-0 lead, faced with the first down and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Jamarcus Russell looking, and it's incomplete. Wait a minute. It picked up. No, it is an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 at the 37. Here's a handoff. Michael Bush again. This time it won't go anywhere. Good defense by the Chiefs. No gain on the play.
These two teams are two of the top 3 at the fewest plays of 20-plus yards in the season. Only Cleveland is as bad as these two teams. The Raiders, with only 14 coming into today, are the worst.
3rd down and 11. Here's the screen, incomplete. Vargas the intended receiver, so the Raiders will have to punt the ball away.
There's a flag. Fargas, in his frustration, threw the ball down, and it's a delay of game penalty that they had to call.
Dead ball. Delay of game. Offense number 25 spiking the ball to the ground.
So now Leckler comes back on the field. He will punt it away from the 15-yard line.
You said it earlier, Gus. He may be the greatest punter
of all time.
And he has a couple of things going for him. One is his kicking partner, Sebastian Janikowski, is also on his team. He doesn't have to punt into a small field very much because Janikowski, this team will try a 55-yard field goal, and they won't bat an eye. So he doesn't ever have to kick those 25-yard net punts. He gets to air it out quite a bit.
4-time Pro Bowler. Savage back deep, and he drives this one. Savage picks it up at the 13-yard line with some running room, and he's tripped up. Shane Leckler, the punter for the Raiders, chasing one of the oldest records still around in the NFL.
Sammy Baugh, 1940 for the Washington Redskins, 51.4. Leckler, he hits a 50-yarder in his sleep, Gus.
1st down and 10 at the 32 now for the Chiefs. Castle throwing up top, and it looks like it's a catch. Yes, it is. Inside the 40. That's Chris Chambers.
And Chris Chambers, that's what he's done in his career. He has got great hands. Watch as he goes up, plucks this out of the air, and gets both feet in. That is a sensational catch. Does he get both feet? 1, 2, yeah, I'd say, yeah, 3 of them. Great catch.
Now Castle throwing again, and he fires to his tight end, Leonard Pope. Leonard Pope making his first career start as a Chief. Second down and 6 to the 34. And they run it. Jamal Charles looking for some daylight. And Charles stopped by Tyvon Branch after a gain of 2 yards on the play.
And when you're struggling, Gus, you do a lot of things. You talk about mid-season additions. You'll bring guys in. Most teams bring guys in on Tuesdays, try them out, work them out. And if they need somebody, they'll find somebody that can come in and help them. Hopefully it's a veteran, and there's no question Chris Chambers is a quality veteran.
3 receptions, 70 yards, and those 2 touchdowns against Jacksonville. Third down and 4 at the 32. Savage is in the game in the backfield. Castle, quick strike, and Savage drops the football. And he had some running room in front of him.
There's only one quarterback in the league who's had more drops by his wide receivers than Matt Castle, and it's Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. This is the 21st drop. This one by Savage. But he's had 20 drops, has Castle, by his wide receivers. And, you know, that is just one of those small things that eats away at your ability to be successful on offense. Guys dropping balls.
Even Todd Haley, you could read his lips, and he was saying to Savage, "You don't want to play today, do you?" So now Ryan Suckup comes in. They spot it at the 40, so this is a 50-yard attempt. Down, up, and good. Todd Haley really had a chance to have a nice chat with him yesterday during our meeting at their hotel, and he came in. You would have thought that he was a rock star. He had a Fasanab shirt on. You can only get those at Nordstrom's, by the way. Big time, you know, rocker-looking jeans and some hard-bottom shoes.
Yeah, he was definitely, you know, comfortable.
Chiefs send it away, and here's Holland starting inside his own 10. And Holland gets up to the 20 before being stopped. But getting back to Coach Haley, you know, he has a very refreshing, easy-going, but direct approach. And he told us, yes, I had to fire my offensive coordinator, Chan Gailey, because philosophically we were on different pages. Now I'm calling the plays. I don't necessarily want to be that guy down the road.
No question. I think the head coaches in the league that are also offensive coordinators struggle to take care of everything on game day. But I like his philosophy. He's made some very difficult decisions. Larry Johnson this last week only being one of them. Firing his offensive coordinator early late in the preseason, early in the regular season, another very difficult decision. But he's got a philosophy he believes in.
First down and 10. Raiders want to run it. And he also said that he was not upset with Larry Johnson. No hard feelings, but it was just time for Johnson and the organization to part ways. But here's a man that comes in after going to the Super Bowl last year with Arizona, 2 years as their offensive coordinator, and he's got a lot of positive energy, and he was a assistant to Bill Parcells with Dallas, so he talks in Parcells terms. He wants to get his guys into this organization and feels that once he does, they're going to be rolling. Second down and 8 at the 23. Jamarcus Russell throws a slant, and it's incomplete. Throws that behind Zach Miller.
You talk about the Chiefs, you know, finding your guys, and in a season like this, you wonder if there's any. And he says, you know, there were some guys I just didn't think were going to be here later, but they have proven to me through their play and their attitude that he does have some of his guys on this team now. And you mentioned that he got after, you know, Savage for dropping that pass. You know, you don't want to play. That's a Parcells move. He's in the face of these guys. When they don't play well, they've got to be accountable for how they're doing it. And I think players respond to that, Gus.
Third down and 8 at the 23-yard line. Russell in the shotgun. Here's Jamarcus dropping back. Going down the field, incomplete. Throws that ball behind Louis Murphy. And that's the second time on the same drive that Russell way off the mark in terms of looking at his receivers.
You're right, Gus. There's really no analysis here. You said it. The fans see it. It's a bad throw. It's behind him. He's got to put that ball on the sideline right where Murphy's running. Murphy's running open. There's a seam there. There's an opening. Russell has got to put that ball in there.
Russell started 3 for 3, but he's missed his last 4. And that brings Leckler in, punting inside the 10-yard line at the 9. Savage is back deep at the 22. Wobbly kick. Savage comes up to field this one. And he has it. He dropped it. He muffed the punt. Who has the football?
We'll find out when they unstack. you don't know who's got the strongest cat gets it.
Raiders say they have it. Coach Haley was right. Savage is not ready to play today. And he may be taken out of this game at this moment with 3:46 to go in the first.
Oh, the one thing the Chiefs have done very well in a difficult season, Gus, is not turn the ball over. You can't do this and win. And he just leaves it laying on the ground. And that's it right there. The ball is out and you don't get it. There's always more coverage guys than there are return guys around the ball. And you can see there 4 guys with silver helmets, only 2 guys with red helmets. The other guys that helped the Chiefs out, they're there too late.
And look at Matt Castle. That's leadership. He puts his arm around Savage, who's gotten off to a rocky start, trying to encourage this young player. Only in his second year out of Oklahoma State. First down and 10 at the 37-yard line for the Raiders. Jamarcus Russell gets another opportunity. He drops back underneath and incomplete.
You know, the Chiefs came in here offensively, Gus, and nobody has turned the football over fewer times than the Chiefs have this year. They're tied with New England and only 7 turnovers all year. They've turned over twice here in the first quarter.
Gary Russell dropping that football out of the backfield, a fullback.
And you look at the other teams that have turned it over a few times. New England, Minnesota, and the Colts are the other 3 teams. They've had 7 and 8 turnovers on the year. All of those teams seem to be playoff bound.
Second down and 10 at the 37. Here's the handoff. And Michael Bush running straight ahead. Tamba Hali with the tackle. Third down and 7 at the 34-yard line. And Russell finds Bush. And Bush gets it to the 32-yard line. That's a 2-yard pickup.
And this is exactly where the Raiders, you know, are so a little bit different than everybody else. This will be a 49, maybe a 50-yard field goal, and they don't bat an eye about it. Some teams off a natural surface won't even attempt this, but Janikowski is such a strong leg.
And he's been on fire. Janikowski is 12 for 12 this year, including a 54-yard field goal at Kansas City, week 2. This one from 50 yards out. All-time leading scorer in Raiders history, 947 points. He got this one up. Make it 950. Oakland Alameda Coliseum. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders, truly one of the great rivalries in the history of the NFL. The 2 teams have fallen on hard times, but that's why this is a very important game, because for both the Chiefs and the Raiders, they feel like this is a game that they can win, and a win would just inject new life in both of these organizations.
And the Raiders particularly feel like a win would go a long way for them.
And this is Charles starting from the 1-yard line. Charles gets outside, and he is ushered out of bounds by Hiram Eugene after a 24-yard return.
You know, the Raiders have done a nice job today of keeping the Kansas City Chiefs in their own end with their backs up against their goal line. This is really, aside from that last drive, this is about as good a field position that the Chiefs have had all day, and they haven't been able to get any sustained drives going. Raiders defense playing extremely well up in the front 7.
The last time these 2 teams met in week 2 on September 20th, Kansas City outgained Oakland's offense 409 to 166. Chiefs having a hard time now moving the football. First down and 10 at the 25. Here's Castle, and he's sacked. Great pressure. Tommy Kelly up the middle.
Well, it's a first down pass, Gus, and the Chiefs give up a lot of sacks on first down. They've done it all year. That's the 11th time all year they've been sacked trying to throw it on first down. Only the Green Bay Packers are worse. They've really struggled. They've got to get the ball out of there, and I don't put that on Matt Castle. That was a protection breakdown.
31st sack given up by the Chiefs this year. Charles trying to get outside, stayed on his feet, but he'll take a loss. That's because Thomas Howard closed the distance quickly. 4th year out of UTEP. That's a loss of 6 yards.
And you'll see here, Richard Seymour just throws him and then gives up on the play, and it actually ends up working out for the Raiders because he throws Charles back 2 or 3 yards, and then the rest of the defense, Thomas Howard ends up tackling for 3 more yards on the play. So great play up front by the Raiders. They are all over this Chiefs offensive line.
3rd down and 23 at the 12. They need to go to the 25 for a first down. Castle out of the shotgun. Here's a snap. Castle looking, steps up, throws on the run. It is caught. Diving forward is Mark Bradley, and it looks like he has the first down.
I think he extended past the line, and this is going to be very close. I think he got a little. I think they need to challenge the spot of this ball. He didn't get it. It doesn't look like. And they want to measure. You can see there Todd Haley pleading his case. We've already been through this once where they didn't get a chance to measure. But watch, it's a great job of extending by Bradley, and that ball is past the line in my view.
Yes, it is.
And Todd Haley can challenge the spot of the ball. And in my view, Gus, I would do it if I was him. It has to go really to the line. He's not going to make it.
About 4 inches short of the first down.
And if, you know, you talk about, and let's look at it again. Does the ball get past where they spotted it? And he's there, he's down, and the ball is past the front edge of that line. That looks to me like a first down.
Short of the line of the game. It's being challenged by Kansas City.
I agree with the challenge. I think Todd Haley did a nice job.
So Bradley, the receiver, with the extra effort, breaking the tackle of Branch to get to go forward.
And you don't want to make too much out of this, Gus, but that's exactly the kind of play that an offense needs to get on track. Todd Haley and Tom Cable both awaiting Mike Carey to emerge from behind that curtain in the middle of your screen. You think this isn't a game of inches, Gus. It's important. I mean, the Chiefs have an opportunity to get something going for the first time today, and it comes down to this play right here. And it looks to you and I that Mark Bradley extended past the line. And they marked the ball before the white line. I thought no question, he extended beyond it. And Todd Haley, when he had the chance, threw the red flag right down on the spot he thought where the ball should have been.
And Mark Bradley has played in 8 games, started 5, 16 catches for 189 yards with a touchdown this season. 5 NFL seasons with Chicago.
It's interesting, Gus, because it used to be when we used to not have instant replay, this is exactly the kind of thing that would go unnoticed. It would be, okay, we're going to run it out. They didn't get it. We're going to go ahead and punt it. The ball would be punted already. And now Kansas City has a chance to hang on to possession of the ball. And Mike Carey's no longer looking at the replay. He's going to talk to the communicator upstairs, and they're going to try and spot the ball now and make sure the clock is right as well. I think the longer they talk, particularly when they're not looking at the film, the more feedback they get from upstairs, and the more chance there is that it's overturned.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down, inches to go. Kansas City will be charged with their first team timeout.
I don't get it. Must be inconclusive. I don't know. I thought
that he got it.
I thought Bradley got it. I thought so when the play happened live, and I certainly thought so after I saw the replay.
So that will force the Chiefs to punt it away. Inches short of another first down on 3rd and 23. Johnny Lee Higgins is back deep. Dustin Colquitt booted a 72-yard punt at Oakland December 23rd of 2006, tying for the 5th longest in Chiefs history. He punts from the 21. This one off the side of his foot. Johnny Lee Higgins lets it take a bounce, and it's going to take a Chiefs bounce. Higgins bottled up and taken down at the 15. That's a 51-yard punt, no return. First down and 10 at the 15. Sixth drive of the quarter for the Raiders, and they keep it on the ground. Bush picks up 4 on the play. Phil Jackson was really interesting this past week, speaking about Gasol. He said, you know, our doctors say nothing's wrong with him, but for some reason, something's wrong with him, according to Powell. That's the end of the first quarter. 10-3 Oakland. Second down and 6. Here's the run, Bush. And Bush crosses the 20. Ankle tackle made by Kenny Smith. It's a 2-yard gain.
You look at the possession. There have been 6 drives in that first quarter. And you see there, the Raiders 6 possessions. And the long TD and only 4 plays really set it up. Not very many plays, though, offensively.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 for Coach Cable. In a turbulent season for Coach Cable, with some off-the-field incidents taking place with his coaching staff. Here's Russell throwing to the sideline, and another drop. Murphy can't hold on to the football. That's a 3rd drop in the first half for this Raiders team.
You know, you got a quarterback that's trying to find himself in this league. You need everybody to catch every ball, particularly the ones we've seen Russell throw them where they couldn't catch him. And now they traded back, and Murphy gives him one that he should have caught. That says it all right there.
Leckler from the 7. Savage still back. Remember, he muffed the last one. And he starts from the 26. And he goes down at the 34-yard line. Welcome back. Raiders with the 10-3 lead here in Oakland. And the Chiefs take over at their own 34-yard line. Cox and Charles in the backfield. They give it to Charles. And Charles crosses the 35 up to the 36.
They've had some delay of game penalties, some illegal procedure penalties. It's all added up to a really tough first half for the Chiefs offense.
Second down and 9 at the 35. Castle throwing down the sideline. Good throw and a great catch. Dwayne Bowe with the reception, gets out of bounds and picks up the first down. Bowe comes into this game with 27 catches for 374 yards. He's averaging 15 yards a grab.
Yeah, and you see, he I think is the guy that's going to be, you're going to be able to tell the difference in his play because of the arrival of Chris Chambers.
First down and 10 at the 46. Here's the pitch. Charles turns the corner. Charles lowers his shoulder, gets out of bounds at midfield. Young man Jamal Charles from Port Arthur, Texas, played his college football at the University of Texas, and he couldn't wait to get this opportunity. He said when Larry Johnson was here, there were no opportunities, and now that he's gone, I've got my chance.
And he really is a guy who wants to play well, who knows this is a chance that he could really start his career here in his 2nd year in Kansas City. He's got the ability. He wanted the opportunity, and now here it is. 2nd
and 6 at the 49. Castle rolling out, almost picked off. Wow. Chris Johnson, he bats it down, but he was a hair away from a pick 6.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs have tried to throw the football down the field enough to try this play.
Actually was batted down by Bowe. Great job by Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah, Dwayne Bowe knew. I mean, the writing was on the wall. And when you're a receiver, Gus, I've played out there, you feel it. You know that guy's going to get there. Dwayne Bowe felt it and knocked it down. That was a great play by the receiver.
3rd down and 6 at the 49. They're 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. To the sideline. Ball is caught by Lance Long. And let's see where they spot it. He's close.
Yeah, they're going to get, he's going to be a yard short. And Long just can't get to the pylon fast enough. Right here, he needs to either cut back in and try and get it, but he doesn't make it to the 1st down marker. And on a 4th down, we kind of get an idea that Todd Haley may be a Parcells disciple. They're going for it on 4th and short.
Todd Haley telling us that this team needs to play with urgency. As if they are down. Well, they are down. Here's the pitch. Charles breaks it inside. Charles busts it out. Jamaal Charles sprinting. Touchdown, Kansas City. 44 yards on 4th down and 1. So Todd Haley gambles and throws a 7.
And that was a great run by Charles. Watch as he comes up, how patient he is. He steps around. Great blocking out in front. Everybody's got a hat on somebody, and Charles weaves his way through. And then, as we said in the open, Gus, all these backs in Kansas City that are left can hit the home run. When they bust into the open, you better hurry to catch them.
Extra point by Succop is good. 6 plays, 66 yards. Jamaal Charles with a 44-yard touchdown, the first rushing touchdown for the Chiefs in the last 39 quarters.
Yeah, they're the last NFL team of the season to get a rushing touchdown, and it was a good one. Great run by Charles, well blocked up front as well.
Charles told us in our meeting yesterday, I want to be the man to score first, and it turns out to be that way here in Oakland. Charles make that 5 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. And the Chiefs send it off. Holland from the 7. And Holland gobbled up and taken down at the 25, an 18-yard return. Special teams tackle made by Jovan Belcher.
Watch the blocking as the guys get out front of this. You'll see every Chief have a hat on a guy, and Charles does just a great job of weaving through the traffic, and then when he gets in the open field, he's not going to get caught. Well blocked up front on a 4th and short. Great gamble by Haley, and it pays off. His team comes through for him.
Haley telling us that he feels that a player like Charles is going to be, or is one of his guys. 1st down and 10. Russell throws to the sideline. Oh, great throw. And that ball caught by Schillings. Talk about arm strength. Jamarcus Russell put this one on a line.
Yeah, and this ball was right in where it should be, and you kind of get to the point where you see him make a throw like this, and you know, where is it the next time? Where was it the last time when he couldn't put the ball on him? You know, what's going through his mind? How can we get him to make that throw more often than the throws we've seen him make earlier in the half? And that's kind of the frustrating part for the Raider coaching staff, and I think for Jamarcus himself.
1st down and 10 at the 39. Lawton and Fargas in the backfield. Fargas hopping through, and Fargas gets up to the 44. Mays brings him down after a 4-yard pickup.
This Raider team, I think they've really benefited from the fact they've got powerful, fast running backs. Jamarcus Russell handing the football off. The Raiders rarely have taken a negative play, particularly today. Fargas, Bush, really doing a good job with the ball in their hands. And I think the fact they haven't turned it over has been a huge part of it.
2nd down and 6 at the 43. Play action. Russell setting up. He throws the bomb. Haywood Bay. Incomplete. That's old school Raiders football there. Darius Haywood Bay has it knocked away by Flowers.
Well, this throw, Gus, was a rocket. And he threw this from his own 40-yard line, drops on the 5, and you gotta catch it.
The ball.
You gotta catch it. You gotta catch it.
Third down and 6 at the 43. And Russell again. This time up top, he's got a receiver, and it is caught. Down the sidelines, Murphy out of bounds. 1st down, Raiders.
And we got a flag at the line of scrimmage, Gus, and it's coming back.
Tripping. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
That's Robert Gallery. And that negates a 52-yard gain.
Watch down inside. Right here is Gallery. He's going to go down and throw his leg out, and he does. He trips Studebaker. No, that's Gilberry that he trips. Yeah. Robert Gallery back in the lineup today after being out. And that is a huge penalty.
So Jamarcus Russell just can't catch a break. He throws the ball to Haywood Bay, which could have been a touchdown. He drops it. Now a penalty after a completion to Lewis Murphy. 3rd down and 16 at the 33. Russell again, looking, dancing, in trouble, and he's sacked. Tamba Hali, Gilberry both in on the play. First sack of the day for the Chiefs.
There's a flag on the play.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 81, covered up an eligible receiver, making him ineligible.
Wow. Chad
5-yard
Gillens.
penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, you know what? That's inexcusable, Gus. You can't line up wrong on a play like that. The Raiders, I mean, this is got to be so frustrating for Tom Cato and the coaching staff and the players themselves to come out, have a series like this where you hit them for 2 big plays. One's a drop, one comes back on a penalty, then you take a deep sack, and you line up wrong.
Loss of 13. Leckler sends it. And from the 25, Savage breaks it back the other way. And Savage goes down at the 25, a 55-yard punt. Game tied at 10 apiece. Kansas City and Oakland. The Chiefs have fought back and now take over at their own 25. First down. Castle to throw on first down. Looks up top, wide open. It's Bowe. Breaks it back. And Bowe out of bounds inside Raiders territory. Branch pushes him out of bounds, but it's a gain of 41 yards.
And I think this is an adjustment that the Chiefs made on the sidelines. They finally came out, ran a little out and up, and they got the defensive secondary of the Raiders crossed up and left Bowe running free.
Hurry up offense being utilized by Kansas City, changing the tempo. Here's the toss, and it's Charles. Goes down. Thomas Howard with the tackle. Todd Haley told us that they may do something like this today.
Yeah, and I think the reason they didn't in the first quarter is they were backed up the entire first quarter. They couldn't really go hurry up or no huddle. They did it right then with limited success on second down or on first down, and now they're huddling up again. But there's no question they're trying to do some things to give themselves a spark, and perhaps going upbeat would have been one of them, but they didn't get an opportunity to do it.
Second down and 8 at the 31. Watch Chambers. He's the wide receiver at the top of your screen. Charles and Smith, 2 tailbacks in the backfield. Castle underneath, and it's caught down at the 5-yard line. It's Chris Chambers.
Now
Mike Huff with the tackle.
They're finding it, and Castle's got time to throw it. He throws it on time. Chambers comes out, keeps running, crosses the face of Demario Williams, or excuse me, Thomas Howard right there, and just a great throw by Castle.
So the Chiefs now have a first down and goal at the 7-yard line. Charles is in the backfield. Remember, Castle has great legs. Long motion man, he fumbled it. And Charles, Johnny on the spot. Jamal diving. And sometimes it's the little things.
Yeah, I mean, you take it for granted. It's a snap, and, you know, it's amazing the Chiefs come in here having really, they don't turn it over at all, less than once per game, and now this is their almost their 3rd turnover of the first half.
Makes it second down and goal at the 7. As you can see the red zone numbers. High formation now. Cox and Charles. Chambers the motion man. Handoff. Charles bottled up. And there was some miscommunication on that play. Branch tackles him, but Castle and Charles running into each other.
Yeah, this is an atrocity right here. They have a hard time getting this ball handed off. And right there, you see it. I mean, Gerard Warren is right in the backfield. I mean, they missed this play completely because they were crossed up. And that looked awful.
So that makes it 3rd down and goal at the 7.
They had a 1st and 10 on the 7, and then all of a sudden, now it's 3rd and 7. 1st and goal. Now it's 3rd and 7 and 3rd and goal. I mean, it's 2 terrible plays on 1st and 2nd down.
Castle pumps in the end zone, and he throws it out of bounds.
And they can blame themselves for that, can the Kansas City Chiefs. They frittered away 1st and 2nd down with a muffed snap. And then look, trying to find Dwayne Bowe, and they're all over him. He's the guy they're going to look for.
So the Chiefs bring in Suckup. Good today from 50 yards. This is a 25-yard field goal attempt. Colquitt is the holder. Thomas Gafford the snapper for the lead. And Kansas City goes in front with a 13-10 lead. Sending it away. Holland back deep. And he'll start from the 8. Holland crossing the 25 up to the 27. A 19-yard return. And Mike Richardson with the tackle on special teams. As we take a look at the standings in the NFC West, Arizona 5-3. Jamarcus Russell to the sideline. Incomplete. That one thrown high. Intended for Chaz Schillens. As you take a look at the total yards in the first half.
Yeah, Kansas City made some adjustments, and Oakland kind of got figured out by the Kansas City Chiefs. But you think about it too, they had those 2 drops, and the last series, the Oakland Raiders really did it to themselves. A drop pass and then the penalty took away 2 huge plays that would have put them in scoring position, and now they end up in their own end coming out.
2nd down and 10 at the 28. And it's Fargas carrying defenders with him. Glenn Dorsey drags him down from behind after a 3-yard pickup.
You know, you think so much of the story coming out of Oakland has been about Jamarcus Russell and his struggles at quarterback, but you got to think too that this is a team that needs to rally around him. I mean, he's made some good throws. He has made a couple of bad throws today, but it's not like they're counting on Jamarcus Russell to throw for 300 yards a game and 5 touchdowns. They'd like a $150 or 200 yards and no interceptions. If they can just get that much production out of him, this Raiders team would be tough to beat.
3rd down and 6 at the 32. Russell in the shotgun. And Russell over the middle. Intercepted. No, they're going to call it drop. Leggett couldn't hold on. And that will force Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders to punt.
And that was a bad throw as well on the skinny post. He's going to try and get this ball out there, and it's just, I mean, wow, way over the top. And that ball, of course, comes out and you can see it hit the ground. But that, I mean, he's trying to fit it in, and it's just high and behind.
Leckler will punt from the 18. Savage is standing at his own 20. And Leckler really puts a toe into this one. Savage backpedaling, starts from the 12. And goes down at the 19-yard line. A 55-yard punt, a 7-yard return. Tony Stewart with the tackle for the Raiders on special teams. How about Washington beating Denver today? 1st down and 10 of the 19. Castle, play fake. Over the middle. Incomplete. Bradley drops the football. 2nd down and 10 of the 19. Cox and Charles in the backfield for Kansas City. Castle goes up top for Bowe. Flag on the play. Bowe made the catch. Was he inbounds? No, he was not.
And Dwayne Bowe's convinced the penalty is against the Raiders. Pass interference. Perhaps illegal contact.
Pass interference. Defense number 37. In the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Chris Johnson.
Yeah, and I think Castle does a nice job of getting this ball up really early right here, and he breaks out right there. The ball's in the air. And see how Chris Johnson kind of stumbles into him, gets his hand out, and Bo pulls that in there. He said he was out of bounds, but it's a first down anyway for the Chiefs. I think it's a good call.
First down, Bo having a nice day for Kansas City. 2 catches, 52 yards. Castle. That one deflected at the line of scrimmage. Second time he's had one batted down. And now Castle having a conversation with Jamal Charles about pass protection.
Yeah, and they ran the exact same play that we just saw Bradley drop. And right there again, the big guy, Tommy Kelly, batting it down.
Second down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Ball at the bottom of your screen, guarded by Johnson. Draw play. Charles trying to pop through, and he'll get to the 35, a 2-yard gain. As Kirk Morrison and Tyvon Branch stop him.
It's tough to run against this Raider defense when they're playing that Raider defense. They play that one-on-one on the outside, and that it's like 9-on-9 down inside the tackles. And to get those guys, get any kind of running game, the Chiefs try to get that pass rush up the field past the runner and get through it. But when you just try and hand it off and get it in there, you're running against 8 or 9 guys just because of the fact they play one-on-one with 0 coverage in the middle. All the guys are right there waiting on you.
Third down and 8 of the 35. They're 0 for 6 on conversions. Castle to Chambers trying to find a crease, and he will not. So on third down and 8, they pick up 6. Chris Johnson, Branch combining on the tackle.
This is kind of a conservative throw, a conservative play call to throw the football on third down on the 3rd and 8, but it gives them a chance. It's a pretty safe thing not to turn the football over. You got a 3-point lead on the road. Don't do anything crazy, but it gives you a chance maybe to break a tackle and get the first down, but a little bit conservative.
Colquitt will punt it away from the 25. Johnny Lee Higgins at the 11, and he pops this one high in the air, and it's fair caught inside the 20. Good job by Colquitt. The hang time was excellent. A 40-yard punt.
And this is going to be a block in the back right beside Higgins. Leggett was coming down and got blocked right in front of him.
There's no foul on the play. All the action was legal. First down.
Okay.
So Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders come back to the line of scrimmage, trailing by 3. First down at their own 19. And here's the handoff, Darren McFadden. And Williams brings him down after 4-yard pickup.
You know, you talk about Jamarcus Russell. He's one of the few times early in his career now he's played them twice, the Chiefs twice, or actually 3 times, 2-1 against them. And you get the feeling with this Chiefs and Raiders rivalry, he's going to see the Kansas City Chiefs so many times if he plays long enough. I mean, these two teams get so familiar with each other and each other's players.
Russell 7 and 17 as a starting quarterback. McFadden trying to turn the corner. Good hard-nosed running as Carr brings him down. That's a 4-yard gain, so that brings up third down and 2.
You know, McFadden coming back into the lineup was out, had his knee scoped during the bye week, and he said he's not quite 100%, but certainly he feels good enough to run, and there he's in there wanting to give it a chance, and I think as the season rolls on he'll get better and better.
Third down and 2. McFadden looking for the first down. Flag on the play as Williams trips him up. Let's see, looks like a hold is coming up.
He got enough for the first down without question.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10 yards, still third down.
That's Mario Henderson, the starting left tackle.
And that's the story of the day for the Raiders.
7 penalties, 59 yards for the Raiders. Third down, 12 at the 17. They need to go to the 29 for a first down. And Russell in the shotgun. Russell with time. Underneath. Caught by Johnny Lee Higgins. Flag on the play.
Yeah, this is back in the backfield as well. It may be the same penalty.
Holding. Offense number 75 is declined. 4th down.
Henderson again. Takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Kansas City with a 13-10 lead as the Raiders prepare to punt it away. Leckler from the 12-yard line. Leggett is back deep now for the Chiefs, and he fields it at the 16. Bounces it back and gets muscled down. A 57-yard punt and a 2-yard return.
You know, it's frustrating to watch both these offenses trying to find themselves. The Raiders really doing it to themselves, taking a couple of holding penalties, dropping passes, and the Chiefs are the exact same way, dropping passes, fumbling the ball around, not getting their play action or their handoffs and their ball control in the backfield down. And, you know, when they come off the field at halftime, they're going to sit in that locker room. Both teams are going to say the exact same thing. If we do what we're supposed to do, we're going to be able to win this game.
Dontrell Savage has an ankle injury. His return is questionable. Here's Castle. Throws out of the backfield, and Charles got leveled. Asamoah. A loss of 6 on the play. Let's watch and listen.
That's no fun. And you think, too, and I'll tell you, that's why Nnamdi Asamoah is the best guy out there, because most corners who are cover corners are slight, they're finesse guys, they're speed. Asamoah is a guy that will do all of that. He'll cover anybody you throw out there. He'll make interceptions. He'll play it clean. And then he'll come up and make a tackle like that. That's one of the reasons he's so different. He's a physical corner. Look at that. Everybody else in the league gets thrown out all the time. Asamoah gets thrown out less than once a game. Today is twice.
2nd down and 15 at the 14-yard line. Now Castle throws this one to Bo. And Bo crosses the 20. Stopped by Chris Johnson, and that's a 7-yard gain. And a timeout has been called.
Yeah, and the Raiders trying to save the clock, knowing they can get the football back. And I like the call on 2nd down by the Chiefs. On a 3rd and long, just get half of, on a 2nd and long, just get half of it. Then it gives you at least a chance on 3rd down to get the rest of it.
3rd down 8 at the 21. Castle hands it off to Colby Smith. Smith gets around the corner, stumbles forward. Let's see where they spot it.
It's going to be short of the 1st.
And Oakland calls a timeout. They're now out of timeouts as Kansas City prepares to send it away.
And again here, as Kansas City punts it away, that was a run call on the 3rd and 8, just playing it close to the vest. And I think Todd Haley knows that the Raiders offense isn't something they have to worry about coming back and scoring a lot of points in this game. You can play it close to the vest, take chances like that. A sweep play on a 3rd and 8, you're probably not going to get it. But they stay in bounds. The clock keeps running. It forces the Raiders to use their last timeout and gives you a chance to go into halftime with the lead.
Colquitt inside his own 15. Johnny Lee Higgins at the 25. And Colquitt sends off a beauty. Johnny Lee Higgins from the 20. And he's tackled at the 15-yard line. Great looking tackle by Jovan Belcher. A 52-yard punt, a loss of 4.
Sensational tackle. Gets him running sideways, grabs the foot and gets him to the ground. That's a tough play. A long run for a big linebacker, and you're tackling one of the fastest guys on the field. That's special teams.
So Jamarcus Russell takes over at his own 16-yard line. Down by 3. 1 minute and 15 to go. No timeouts. Russell. Caught. Over on the sideline. It's Johnny Lee Higgins who gets out of bounds. First down. Jamarcus dumps it off. And this is his tight end, Zach Miller, who gets out of bounds. It's the first catch of the day for Zach Miller. And he gains 9.
And you have to remember, too, the Raiders only have to get to about the Chief 40-yard line. They'll try a 58-yarder or a 60-yarder if they want to. They're a different type of team because of Sebastian Janikowski. So their target line is all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Janikowski may be the strongest leg in the NFL. Would you say he has the strongest leg in the NFL?
Oh, I think so, no question. As a place kicker from placement, yeah.
Second down and 1. Russell underneath. Another drop pass. Johnny Lee Higgins can't hold on to the football. 7 drops in this game for the Raiders.
That looked like it might have gotten on his finger, too. He might have jammed a finger, but you got to make these catches. I mean, Jamarcus Russell, you can say what you want about him, but he's thrown. That was a ball that was right in there. You got to pull it in. Yeah, you're going to get hit, but you're going to get hit anyway. Whether you catch it or not, you're going to take a licking. And you may as well catch it.
Third down and 1 at the 40. 57 seconds to go. Russell over the middle, and it's broken up. Jovan Belcher knocks it out of Fargas's hands, and now the Raiders are faced with a 4th down and 1.
And I think you.
Kansas City with 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, that's the question right there, and I think the Raiders are going to keep their guys on there, and I think with Jamarcus Russell at 6'6", 200 and whatever pounds he is, I think I would quarterback sneak it, get up and spike it. And the Chiefs are expecting it. Look at them, they're packed all in.
And he bobbles the snap. Wow.
Oh, the Chiefs took a timeout before it happened.
He bobbles the snap, doesn't pick up the first down. Raiders turn it over on downs at their own 40.
But the Chiefs called a timeout before the play, and it's not going to count. They're going to put the time back on the clock, and the Raiders will get another shot at it.
Wow, the Raiders really dodge a bullet there.
We'll see. I mean, you'll see the replay up at the top. See, he blows his whistle just before the snap of the ball. And now the Raiders will punt it away.
Wise decision.
Well, yeah, after what they just saw down inside there, forget it. I mean, that would give the Chiefs a field goal opportunity right away if they turn it over on downs right there. No chance, no reason to risk it.
Leckler will send it away. Maurice Leggett is back deep. High snap handle and driven again by Leckler. Another flag thrown back at the 38-yard line after the 49-yard punt.
This will depend on whether it's before or after the kick. If it's after the kick, it'll be, while the ball's in the air, it'll be tacked on to the end of the play. If there was a hold or something that the guy had tried to block the punt before the kick, they may have to do it again.
There's no foul on the play. First down.
Or they might just pick it up.
So Todd Haley now with 1 timeout left. And the ball is at the 11-yard line. What do you do here, Steve? Just take a knee and go into halftime on the road, leading by 3?
Yeah.
And looks like Maurice Carthon and Todd Haley had some words on the sideline.
Yeah, and that's just probably the way they handled either the tight end or handled the timeout, or whether they were going to actually get the football back. And yeah, there's always words exchanged over there. And I'll tell you, those two guys like each other a lot.
Carthon, the assistant head coach. Ball thrown over the middle, and it's caught. Lance Long. Castle quickly to the line of scrimmage, 35 seconds and counting. He does have that timeout left after a gain of 12.
Yeah, the Raiders have got to stay on their P's and Q's. They can't let the Chiefs go down here. There's too much time with a timeout left.
Castle over the middle again. Charles to the 30. Now the Raiders make that the Chiefs.
Yeah, they'll take their timeout right
use
there.
That timeout.
Yeah, they've still got 40 yards to try and get, 35 yards to try and get to a point where they could try a field goal. And Todd Haley, and this is one of the things we spoke to him about, you know, clock management, play selection. Sometimes you need a head coach who has the ability or the freedom to step back away from the play selection and which plays on the menu and how to handle timeouts, how to handle the in-game clock, how you're going to do things with getting the football back from the Raiders when they don't have any timeouts left. And he would love to stand there and just concentrate on the big picture of game management. But now he's all, you know, you got to also look at the menu and pick plays. And it's one more thing he wishes he didn't have to do, and probably won't next year or as his team develops under him.
Second down, 5 at the 29. 16 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining for the Chiefs. Castle steps up in the pocket, throws to the sideline. And that ball is incomplete. Intended for Bo.
Yeah, this is a pretty good throw. Just can't get it fitted in there. Bo comes out. And you'll see. And the ball comes out.
35 from the 29.
So with 10 seconds to go, that brings up 3rd down and 5 from the 29.
I wouldn't be surprised if they handed it off right here either.
And they do hand it off. And Charles is dropped immediately by Michael Huff. So Todd Haley and the Chiefs head to the locker room. Halftime in Oakland. And the Chiefs lead it 13-10. So we're ready to start the second half. Coach Haley and Coach Cable. Oakland, the Raiders have lost 18 straight games when trailing at the break.
They are not a come-from-behind team. One of the things we spoke to the Chiefs about yesterday was that if you can get up on the Raiders, and that graphic illustrates it, they are not a come-from-behind team. You can get, particularly if you get up by more than one score, the Raiders tend to go away. And the Chiefs have an opportunity right after halftime now, receiving the kickoff, to do just that.
Jamal Charles is back deep as Janikowski sends it into the end zone. Charles brings it out. Charles down the sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds. Great return as Gary Russell knocks him out of bounds, but that is a return of 37 yards.
Yeah, it was nice, brought it out of the end zone, and that's the way a good returner does it, Gus. You can bounce it to the outside, but not right away. You got to run it up in between the hash marks and then pop it outside, and it draws the coverage to you, and then you pick the side that has the best seal on it, and Charles did a nice job. Great field position to start the second half.
1st down and 10. Charles starts the second half on the bench. He will take a breather. Colby Smith is in the backfield. Here's Smith looking, and Smith taken down quickly. No gain on the play. Kirk Morrison there. As you take a look at the possessions in the first half for Kansas City.
This is a lot of possessions in the first half, and you see there the early going, they really struggled. -2 and then 1 yard. Then they got the 36 and the 66, 67. It started to get a little better as the first half wore on. Turnovers really hurt them. But that is a team that's improving as the game wears on, not getting worse. The halftime, the possession right before halftime was meaningless.
2nd down and 10 at the 38. Draw play. And this time it's Smith running right, and for the second straight play, he gains nothing.
You think too, Gus, and we've said this before, and it's kind of a general rule. The teams go in at halftime, both offensively and defensively, and get a look at what the game plan of their opponents was in the first half. They can sit down, take a deep breath, and then throw some wrinkles in, and also throw some plays out of their game plan, and then promote some other plays that they really want to run in the second half. And these first possessions after halftime, I think, are crucial for both offenses and both defenses.
3rd down and 10 at the 38. Castle looking over the middle. Bowe with another catch and a first down. Dwayne Bowe going up high in front of Nnamdi Asomugha, and he brings it down after a gain of 13.
And this is Asomugha playing off the football, kind of watches Bowe, and then that's a nice out and then hook as Bowe broke out to the sideline, then planted his foot and came straight back to the quarterback. Hard to defend, and it's a great route, especially with a good throw.
4 catches, 72 yards for Bowe. Now he's starting to go at Asomugha a bit. First down at the 49. Charles lines up as a wide receiver at the top of your screen. Castle looks that way, fires it incomplete. Branch defending on Jamal Charles.
This is on first down. The Chiefs are going to throw the football out, and Charles, we talked to Todd Haley, and he felt like Charles is really one of the best receivers on the team. They put him out in the drills at practice, let him run routes with those guys, and he's impressive. He's got good route, and that was a good route right there, although he didn't get good separation. Still, it's a guy that you have to contend with. You're not going to put a safety out there and cover him. You're going to have to put a corner out there or a nickel back.
2nd down and 10. Here's a handoff, Charles with a seam, and he spins and gets to the 36. That's a 12-yard pickup. Alston and Branch combining on the tackle, but Todd Haley and the Chiefs offense keeping Oakland off balance.
And these are those plays that you promote off your playlist, and also some of the plays that you took out, you don't have to go and try them again. Nice little delayed draw across the formation. You hand it to him on the right of the formation. He comes across the defense and cuts it up in on the left side.
Charles, 10 carries, 63 yards. Another draw, and this time he goes nowhere. Great looking defense by Thomas Howard.
Howard was on a run blitz right there, and he got in the backfield as they tried to do a little delay draw. You'll see right on the outside he comes up, and just the hesitation by Castle with the little pump fake, trying to get the cornerbacks and the receivers to get out of the way for a draw play. Thomas just runs in on the blitz and gets there before the play develops.
It's a loss of 2, makes it 2nd down and 12 at the 39. Raiders showing blitz. Here they come. Picked up over the middle. And it's caught by the tight end, Leonard Pope. Pope gains 5.
One of the things about this Chief offense today, the times that they've just had Castle under center, turn around and trying to hand the football off on a regular running play, they've been stoned. So now all their running plays are delayed draws and little things like that. They're not really, they don't have any confidence they can run right at this Raider defense. They're trying to get them out of position and run past them as the Raiders put their ears back and come up the field.
3rd down and 7 at the 34. Here's Castle. Raiders bring everybody. Castle incomplete. Bowe, the intended receiver, can't hold on. It was thrown behind him.
And that was Raider defense. 8-man blitz coming up. They got man-to-man on the outside. No safety. And Castle's got to get rid of it, but he gets rid of it before the receiver can come out of his break and really get ready for it. And it's just a tough route to complete.
So Ryan Suckup, who's knocked down a 50-yarder and the 25-yarder today. This one will be from 52. Good snap, clean hold. Oh, no good. 13 to 10. 13 to 10, Kansas City on top of the Raiders. And now Oakland takes over with very good field position at their own 43-yard line. And the handoff goes to Michael Bush, who broke 160 yards to set up the Raiders' first and only touchdown. He gained 7 here.
Just the opposite of what we saw the Chiefs do. The Raiders line up with 2 guys in the backfield, an I formation, and just run it right at the Chiefs defense for a tough gain of 7 yards. And there you go. Last game at San Diego, that was the whole game at San Diego. Oakland had the ball 10 times. They've had the ball 11 times in the first half today, and now the first possession of the second.
Russell handing it off right side, and Bush again breaking through. First down, gain 6. Ron Edwards with the tackle.
Both teams love to run the football. Raiders getting it done.
Bush.
Yeah, that's good numbers.
82 yards rushing.
Coming into today, the Raiders run the ball 50.8% of the time. So half the time they do run it. Today a little bit more than that, I believe.
From the Kansas City 44, Bush again downhill running. And he gets to the 31. Mike Brown with the saving tackle. A gain of 13.
And I'll tell you, Gus, I've seen the Raiders do this at times during the regular season. They come in and they get a couple of good runs. They gash the defense. And then, as you saw 2 weeks ago in the first drive, they were doing this exact thing to the San Diego Chargers. And then, for some reason, they drop back with Jamarcus Russell, and he throws an interception immediately, and the game changes from there. I think the Raiders would be good to just hang in there and bang this ball down inside until the Chiefs stop it.
Vrabel with an injured knee trying to work it out on the sideline. 3-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. One of the vets on this defense. Meanwhile, Bush, 8 carries, 94 yards. First down at the 32 for Oakland. They give it to Bush again. And he leans forward and gets to the 25. Corey Mays with the tackle. It's a 7-yard pickup.
And this is a good, physical, impressive drive by the Raiders run game. I mean, they are pounding it down right at the Chiefs in between the tackles, and they're just pushing them back.
Second down and 3. Bush again. And Bush slammed to the turf at the 22.
That's Michael Bush.
Ron Edwards, a nose tackle, but it's another 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden, Russell giving it to Bush. Bush with 9 carries, make it 10 carries now for 104 yards.
And that's the average speaks for itself. And now Justin Fargas comes in to give him a spell as Bush takes a break, goes over, catches his breath. And they have not had to throw the football yet on this drive.
Clock still running. 16 on the play clock. Fargas lines up as the deep man. Zach Miller in motion. Fargas. And he spins and goes down. Corey Mays, first man to him. No gain on the play.
And sooner or later, the Chiefs are going to force the Raiders to throw the football. On this, they get in there, and there's like 11 white jerseys right in around the football on defense. They can feel it. Believe me, it's not just us. The Raider defense is looking around going, come on, guys, they're pushing us around. They're going to pack it in there and dare the Raiders to throw it over the top. But until they can stop the run game like they just did on that first down, the Raiders aren't going to put it in the air.
Second and 10. Here's Russell, play fake, dumps it off, incomplete. Ball intended for Tony Stewart, that one thrown low. And he got nailed by John McGraw. McGraw playing with the tender hamstring. They worked him out before the game, and he was okay to go.
It's a play fake. It's a simple little play action. You just got to get the ball out there, and he just wasn't quite there. McGraw right in the right spot. Stewart takes the hit off the drop pass.
That makes it third down and 10 at the 22. as Russell. And the Raiders are 0 for 9 on conversions, and now Russell will call a timeout. 3rd down and 10 for Raider fans. At the Kansas City 22-yard line. Here's Jamarcus Russell lining up in the gun. Chiefs don't show blitz. Russell dumps it off to Zach Miller, the tight end. Flag on the play. Miller breaking a tackle, and he gets down to the 6. Leggett with the tackle after a 15-yard pickup, but there is a flag.
Another man downfield on the offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
That's Samson Satele, their starting center.
Well, the offensive lineman can't go down the football field on a pass play. You watch right here in front of Jamarcus Russell. You can't see him. He'll snap it, and he can't go down the field, and then he does, and the ball hasn't been thrown yet. He's all the way down past the 20-yard line before the ball is caught, and that's the penalty.
Another costly penalty. Look at the penalties, Steve. 8 penalties, 64 yards.
And they've cost them a lot of first downs too, Gus. It hasn't been just on 1st down or 2nd. And it's been cost them on 3rd down conversions as well.
3rd down at 15 at the 27. Russell to throw. Russell fires. Almost intercepted. Brandon Flowers just couldn't hold on.
Well, this ball is tipped. Jamarcus Russell gets into trouble. Holly gets around his leg. He goes down and throws it. That's when the ball gets away. And that, I mean, wow, you got to pull it in. The receiver tips it, and it goes all the way back to Flowers. And that's a missed opportunity that really cost the Chiefs 3 points here if Janikowski can convert.
So Janikowski has hit a 50-yarder. This one from 40 yards, 45 yards away. And he pushed it. He pushed it. And it is no good for Sebastian Janikowski. 13-10. Kansas City leading Oakland. Chiefs with the football at their own 36. Castle throws it out of the backfield to Colby Smith. And Smith lowers his shoulder. Chris Johnson there to bring him down. Let's take another look at the Sebastian Janikowski 45-yard miss.
Well, it's good snap and hold. I mean, he got a good look at it, putting it down, and he just mishit it. When he just pushed it out there, it was dead straight. He just pushed it. We've been watching him during the break and commercial. He is really not a happy camper right now.
Very hard on himself. 2nd down and 8 at the 38. Jamal Charles in the slot. They throw it. Flag on the play.
Illegal contact. Defense number 26. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Watch here on the right side of your screen. Coming from the outside right here. He's got a hold of him, and I don't think so about that. I don't like that call. I don't think that's a good call.
1st down. Castle play fake, sets up over the middle. Cole with the grab, breaks a tackle on his feet, spins, lost it, loose ball. It's still free. Oh man, what a scramble. And the Chiefs have it inside the Raiders 25.
There it was. Brian Waters, I think, came up with it all the way down the field. And I'll tell you, Gus, there's nothing like a big guy hustling. Watch this. And Bo does a nice job. He slips the tackle by Asamoah, spins out, and then gets labeled by Morrison and coughs it up.
4-time Pro Bowler Brian Waters. And as you mentioned, Waters in his 10th season, still hustling down the field. Watch for 54, White.
And there's the hat, and there's a big lick right there, and then everybody jumps on. And this is one of those where nobody can grab a handle. Guys are trying to scoop it up. Osmo almost had it. He tried to get up with it, and there's Waters coming in late.
320 pounds.
Good for him.
2nd down and 9 at the 22. Charles at the bottom of your screen is a wide receiver out of the backfield. Castle looks that way, now changes directions. And it's incomplete. Chargers with a chance to catch Denver, who lost at the Redskins today. Broncos starting to come up short now. 3rd down and 9. Castle over the middle. And it's his little back, Jamal Charles, again with the reception. And that is a gain of 8 yards on 3rd down and 9.
Came up just short, right in the middle of the football field, and Matt Castle is staying on the field for Todd Haley. They're going to try and go for it. It'll be a short yardage. They're bringing in their heavy personnel. They're going to line up and try and run it right at this Raider defense, and they have had no success doing it today.
4th down and 1. Castle rolling out, looking, intercepted, but incomplete. Michael Huff couldn't keep his feet in bounds on 4th down and short.
Dwayne Bowe came across the field and came wide open, and Castle missed him.
Raiders take over at their own 14-yard line after sending the Chiefs off the field. Jamarcus Russell hands the ball off, and this time it's Michael Bush, who's already over 100 yards rushing. He gains 2. Let's take a look at the last play, though. 4th down and 1, Steve.
The only thing that raises my eyebrows about this, Gus, is Matt Castle's going to come out and roll towards Dwayne Bowe, and Bowe goes to the middle of the field. I don't know that Bowe ran the wrong route, but that's usually not the way it's drawn up. Bowe went inside. No, he just saw it. There was nobody in the middle of the field. He took it hoping Matt Castle could throw it over there, and Castle couldn't do it because he was rolling the opposite direction.
2nd down and 8. Russell looking. Had his tight end open. He missed him. Now throws, and it's incomplete. Luke Lawton, the intended receiver.
And that was a drop pass as well, although I don't know that it would have been all that much of a positive play. Lawton was standing just past the line of scrimmage and got hit immediately. Jamarcus Russell buying himself some time from the pressure. The Chiefs dropped way off into coverage. They only had a 3-man rush, and Russell just didn't know where to go with the football with all those guys back in coverage. 9
drop passes for Jamarcus today. 3rd down and 8 at the 15. And Russell throws to the sideline. That one thrown high, incomplete. Flags on the play. Russell.
And this is going to be a personal foul on Tamba Hali. Yeah, it's going to be 2 holding and a roughing the passer.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 75, and roughing the passer, number 91 of the defense, hitting the quarterback low. Those fouls offset. We play 3rd down.
So Mario Henderson has had a rough day. They're starting left tackle.
Right out here. Tamba Hali goes around. He's got him horse collared, and you can't go in low. And oh boy, I don't know about that.
How is that roughing the passer?
You can't go low on the quarterback, but I thought he reached up and grabbed him. And I think, yeah, I don't agree with that call, but that is the kind of call that is happening now in the NFL. I think that was a good play by Hali, but the officials this year are being instructed to call that, and that's where that came from.
3rd down and 8. Russell again. Oh man. And fans not happy with that throw. That was just a horrible throw by Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, that was in the dirt. He had a guy with a chance to maybe make the 1st down, and didn't have really that much pressure in his face, and just threw it in the dirt. And you got to make that throw. That was low and behind.
9th punt for Shane Lechler. Standing at his own goal line. Maurice Leggett back deep. This one off the side of Leckler's foot. Leggett picks it up and gets to midfield and inside Raiders territory. And I think Coach Cable and the Raiders have seen enough of Jamarcus Russell as Bruce Gradkowski starts to warm up and receive instructions. He could be heading into the game. Jamarcus Russell, 8 of 23, 64 yards. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line for Castle, though, and the Chiefs. Here's the draw play. The ball is fumbled, and the Raiders have it. Thomas Howard, third turnover of the day for KC.
You can tell there Todd Haley talking to his quarterback, saying, that's you. You got to get there and you got to get around. It's got to be right. He didn't let go of it. Castle's got to let go of it. He held on to the football. Looked like he wouldn't give it to Charles. Look, he won't give it to him. He didn't get it. He's got to get it in there. That's Castle not getting the football far enough out for his running back to grab. He's got to get it in there, and he didn't. And I think Todd Haley's right to call him out on it.
So a new quarterback in. Bruce Gradkowski, fourth year, out of Toledo, claimed by the Raiders via waivers in February of this year. Hands it off. Bush. And Bush chopped down at the 44. Gradkowski, very mobile signal caller. Entering his fourth NFL season, first with the Raiders. He's seen action coming into this year in 19 games with 12 starts.
He's a guy that, you know, is going to complete about half his passes. You think coming in, and this is a point where Gradkowski's got to be thinking, I know I'm not going to be in here for very long, but I'm going to make the most of it. And I don't think Jamarcus Russell was all that happy being pulled.
As you take a look at Russell's numbers. And Cornell Green, the injured Raider, looks like he may have caught a stinger in that shoulder. Now he's grabbing his back and walks off the field. Significant move by Coach Cable to bench Jamarcus Russell. Lackluster performance by Russell, although he had a lot of drop balls, but his body language, that's what really kills you.
And there you go.
He looks like he doesn't care. Second down and 7 at the 45. Play fake. Gradkowski rolling out of the pocket. Throws. Lawton with the catch.
And you see, that's a 1-yard pass play that the crowd roared for. I mean, that lets you know the kind of day it's been. 8 completions by Jamarcus Russell on 23 attempts is just not going to win football games. And even completions like that are enough to make this crowd excited. You see there, getting talked to by Gerard Warren, the veteran, making sure that Jamarcus Russell puts this game in perspective for himself and his own mindset.
Third down and 6 at the 44. Gradkowski throws that one, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Let's see who got it. It was either Ali or Alex Smith.
Well, for all the excitement Gradkowski garnered coming in, it was a 3 and out.
Actually, ball knocked down by Andy Studebaker. And now Shane Leckler, maybe the most overworked punter.
He needs a protein bar. He's been out there so much.
This is his 10th punt of the day. And Maurice Leggett is back. End over end Aussie kick. Over to the sideline. Takes a bounce. Leggett picks it up. Advances. Crosses the 10-yard line.
Well, Todd Haley, I think Gus gave his quarterback a talking to coming off the field, saying that last fumble was you. They're a -3 in the takeaway giveaway column today, and yet they're leading the game. It's almost unheard of.
First down. at their own 13. Castle over the middle. And it's Jamal Charles out of the backfield with the catch. 6-yard pickup. Actually make that Dwayne Bowe with the catch.
Jamal Charles is down on the field and he's staying down.
Looks like he may have a injured leg.
He might have a cramp in his calf as they pull that. If they pull that toe back towards his knee, yeah, they're trying to stretch the calf out because it ties up on you. Well, neither one of these teams want to lose to the other. I mean, there's no love lost. There never has been in the history of this rivalry, and it's always competitive. It was in week 2 of this season, and it will be when they've played 100 times more.
Charles, who broke one for 44 yards and a touchdown. First rushing touchdown of the season for the Chiefs in the first half. Kind of reminds you of some of the backs you're seeing around the NFL, the smaller backs, the Frank Gore types, D'Angelo Williams types. Second down and 3 at the 20. Here comes a corner blitz. Asamoah in the backfield. Kobe Smith outran him as he gets past the 20. Kirk Morrison with the stop. End of the third, 13-10. KC scoring by quarters. Neither team scoring in the third quarter. And we stand at 13-10. Kansas City looking for their second win of the season. As Matt Castle and the Chiefs 1 for 12 on third down conversions today, faced with a third down and 1. Castle goes up top for Chambers, and it's broken up by Johnson. And Steve, you just wonder, on third down and 1, they throw a pass.
Yeah, they have not been able to do anything on the power running game. They try and lay it up there and let Chambers get it, and it's just well defended. Not a great throw by Castle. And
it seems like that will be a low percentage play.
I agree with you completely. The throw to the outside down the field. You got corners that do nothing but play that defense all day. They know how to defend it, and it takes a great play to make it work. Maybe
too much gambling on the part of the Chiefs on that particular series. Colquitt will send it away at the 6. Johnny Lee Higgins is back. And Higgins takes a couple of steps up. Now backs up, just totally misjudged the ball. A 61-yard punt.
You're right. He had plenty of time. You need to catch this, and it drops right there, and he loses about, well, 13 yards on the bounce. And that's a first down, Gus, that the Raiders offense now has to get just because he let the ball bounce.
Jamarcus Russell on the sideline, benched to start the fourth quarter. Bruce Gradkowski replaces him. Hands the ball off. The Raiders running game has been very good, especially with Michael Bush carrying the football. 4-yard pickup. Corey Mays comes up with the tackle. Bush has 13 carries, 112 yards, including a big 60-yard run in the first quarter.
You know, Gus, under normal circumstances, when you have a quarterback that struggled like Jamarcus Russell, you think a guy like Gradkowski would come in thinking he's got a shot if he plays well to stay in the game. I don't know if that's the case here in Oakland. I think they're committed to this guy, Jamarcus Russell. They want to sink or swim with him, give him every opportunity to have something click. And I don't think Gradkowski's going to take that job away from him.
Second down and 5. Gradkowski fires out and is caught by his fullback, Gary Russell. 3-yard gain. The running game has been very effective today.
Yeah, you see there, Michael Bush has been the real hammer. I mean, that guy, and they've done this, Gus, their running game for the Raiders has been inside the tackles. They are running right at the heart of the Chief run defense, and they've made some hay.
As Bush trots off the field, third down and 2 at the 25. Fargas in the game. Remember, Gradkowski can run it. They give it to Fargas, and Fargas Still running, gets all the way up to the 40-yard line. Maurice Leggett with a tackle, but it's a gain of 15.
Justin Fargas has one quality that has stayed with him his entire career. When he gets the ball in his hand, he's going hard. That's why he's an asset to this Raider. That's why he can come in off the bench. That's why he's a great complimentary back. He's had some chances to start during his 7-year career out of USC, but for the most part, he's done just what he's doing today. Take some reps when the #1 guy goes down and do a great job when you get in.
That was their first 3rd down conversion. As the Raiders keep it on the ground, Raiders are 1 of 13 now on 3rd down conversions. 7-yard gain by Fargas, who runs so hard. Matter of fact, he and, as you mentioned, Castle were teammates.
Yeah,
when they were at the University of Southern California.
Fargas came out 7 years ago, Castle 5 years ago. They were the USC Trojans together, probably both commiserating over the state of affairs in their football program in the last couple of days.
There's
people in the Bay Area here are cheering the Stanford Cardinals for lumping up the Trojans.
2nd down and 3 at the 47. And they hand it off Fargas. Play goes nowhere as Mays leads the way along with John McGraw.
Now watch, Mays is going to come in. He's the onside linebacker, comes right up in, keeps his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, and just scrapes right off the trash of all the guys balled up in there, steps right into the hole, and Fargas has nowhere to run. Exactly how you play it as a linebacker. And the Chiefs they're doing pretty good pushing the Raiders when they go side to side, but when the Raiders come right up in between the tackles, they got pushed around today.
3rd down and 3 at the 47. He can get to midfield for 1st down. Radkowski has good legs. Over the middle, incomplete. They'll make that intercepted. Yes, it is. Mike Brown. That one just popped in his hands. First turnover of the day for the Raiders.
It got tipped. As it come around, watch as they come across. Johnny Lee just doesn't grab it, can't turn and grab it, and is tipped up around playing volleyball, and somebody came down with it that was not an Oakland Raider. You see there, it's tipped up by Flowers, but Mike Brown comes down with it. And that's the first and I think, well, biggest turnover of the day, and the Chiefs finally get into that column against the Raiders.
So the Chiefs with the football at the Oakland 47-yard line.
This is another penalty on the Chiefs. They had a snap count problem, and Dwayne Bowe saw the ball move. Looked like Rudy.
Ball start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still first.
Rudy Nicewonger looked like he lost his grip on the football as he was adjusting it, getting it ready to snap. And when he lost his grip, everybody kind of twitched. Watch right down in here. Yeah, you see there, he double clutched it. And then he turned around. See, he tried to cover it by turning the ball around. It was a veteran move, but they were too quick for him.
1st down and a long 15. Castle in trouble, and he's sacked. Matt Shaughnessy, the rookie, out of Wisconsin. 2nd sack of the day for the Raiders.
Yeah, Matt Shaughnessy got his first career sack against San Diego a couple of weeks ago. Now he's got another sack today. I mean, this guy, he's playing well. You asked Tom Cable about him. Likes his progress. Has a nice spin move on the bottom right there, working against O'Callahan, and just a nice pass rush move.
2nd down and 17. Castle, the hitch, and this time it's Charles. And he dives forward, gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Shaughnessy with the tackle again. It's a 6-yard gain.
I'll tell you, Gus, it's 2nd and 15 or 16. I think that they're trying to get a chunk of it back. They're not trying to pick up the whole bunch. They didn't get quite as many as they would have liked to, but I think Todd Haley has the advantage here, Gus, of being able to be conservative at this point of the game with a 3-point lead and a Raiders offense that has just not been effective at all. He doesn't have to throw the football down the field. He's daring the Raiders to beat it.
3rd down and 11 at the 48. They need to go to the 37 for 1st down. Castle throwing up top for Bowe. Incomplete, but a flag on the play.
Yeah, and that's a good flag.
This is going to be pass interference against Asamoah. And Dwayne Bowe.
Pass interference. Defense number 21 from the spot of the foul. Automatic.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Asamoah did it purposely. You see him nodding his head. He got beat. The little right there, Dwayne Bowe didn't give him anything, and Asamoah thought he was going to break it off. The Chiefs have not gone deep all day, and Dwayne Bowe worked him either with his eyes. Asamoah saw something that made him drop a step, thinking it was going to break the route off, and he didn't, and he had to grab him to keep up.
Dwayne Bowe, 6 receptions, 91 yards, and he has been really going right at Nnamdi Asamoah. Raiders with 10 penalties for 88 yards. First down and 10 of the 29. Charles, stop and start, turns a corner. Look at the little back go. And he picks up a first down at the 17. Kirk Morrison with the tackle. A gain of 11 on 1st and 10. 9:19 to play in the 4th quarter. Kansas City holding on to a 13-10 lead. Todd Haley looking for his 2nd win. First-year head coach, 13th coach in the history of the proud franchise of the Kansas City Chiefs. 42 years old. Got a lot of swagger about him, folks.
He has some things he deeply believes in because he's seen them work, and he's sat at the knee of some outstanding coaches in this league, and he continues to talk to those guys and get advice from them and run things by him. But he has some things he believes in, and I'll tell you the thing that got me, he's had some tough decisions to make at this early point. Releasing an offensive coordinator, taking over the play calls, releasing one of the best players in franchise history. And I think that the ability to make tough decisions and live with the results, I think will serve him well.
2nd down and 1 at the 20-yard line. Chambers in motion. Hand off Charles. And Charles just running through Raiders. That's some smash mouth Texas-style football. As he picks up the first down, running over Branch. A gain of 7 on the play. First down and 10 at the 14-yard line for the Chiefs. And it's Charles. Breaks it back. It goes nowhere. Sam Williams, 7th-year player out of Fresno with the tackle.
The Chiefs have had this ball in the 2nd half down into the Raiders' end twice before this, once with a missed field goal, and the other they went for it on 4th and very short and came up empty on both occasions. So I don't think they're going to take any chances here. If they don't get a first down, I don't think they'll go for it on 4th and short. They'll kick the field goal and take their chances. 2nd
down and 9 at the 13. Castle in the gun. Quick throw, caught by his tight end. Leonard Pope gets crunched by Sam Williams. Pope starting today, Sean Ryan inactive.
And this is a nice completion, but it goes for just about no yards. I mean, they end up outside the 10-yard line, and good defensive play. The Raiders didn't play their normal defense. They went with an umbrella, zoned it off. Nnamdi Asamoah was standing out there waiting on the tight end to come out. Played a zone defense really for one of the few times all day, and I think it confused Castle.
All right, on 3rd down and 7 at the 11, they can get a first down. Inside the 5 at the 4, and Matt Castle calls a timeout. Welcome back.
Yeah, a moment ago, the Chiefs had to burn a timeout. Dwayne Bowe is over here, and after Castle burned the timeout, Todd Haley and Castle were both looking at Dwayne Bowe. He lined up wrong. He's the guy that was the problem. They got the wrong personnel formation there, and they got caught. And he's pointing all the way. Haley points all the way across the field, asks Bowe what he's doing.
I like Todd Haley. 3rd down and 7 at the 11-yard line. He's got some fire, that's for sure. Castle, draw play, nothing. Great job by the Raider defense. Trevor Scott. And a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, and that was just a way to to make sure you're going to get a chance to try the field goal. I mean, they just did not want to turn this football over. And this, I don't want to keep going back to this. This is a Bill Parcells move, totally. Do not put the football in the air and stay conservative. Give you guys a chance to do it. But I'll tell you, the last thing you say to him is make sure we end that play with the ball.
So that brings on Succop to attempt a 31-yarder. It's up and good. Welcome back to Oakland, where the Kansas City Chiefs lead at 16-10. Dwayne Bowe and his coach, Todd Haley, patching it up now. Coach Haley trying to explain his position. We've seen him argue with wide receivers before, dating back to his time with the Arizona Cardinals. And this is Holland to the 20. And Holland taken down. Raiders now trailing by 6. 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Gretkowski on the play fake. Throws down the field. Incomplete. Murphy, the intended receiver, no flag on the play.
Well, it's not a high percentage pass, but Murphy gets down the field, and I think Gretkowski needs to throw this a little towards the middle of the field, away from the defender. I think it's well defended. It's a good play. Murphy almost pulls it in, but I think if they let him throw the football out in front of him and cross the field a little bit, it's harder to defend.
2nd down and 10 at the 22. Michael Bush lines up in the backfield. Raiders have to throw it now. They give it to Bush. And Bush crosses the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Edwards and Williams with the tackle, a 4-yard game. As part of Veterans Day celebrations, the Raiders are honoring the Navajo Code Talkers today. Navajo Code Talkers were instrumental in military operations in World War II. L.A. Williams and Samuel Boyd are calling the action on KTNN radio. It's the 11th time the Raiders have broadcast a game in Navajo Code. Let's take a listen.
Catch the ball. Drop balls, there's too many receivers dropping the ball.
Ako kare yabe ahado zili kwa ke jos ai tho ka tho na je kwa ke da kwa yi ta ha de do I de da kwa jo he zang de jis ahado le.
Oh, sag a bit ya oh.
Ja.
You know what? In any language, too many receivers dropping the football can be. That is something else. In any language, even Navajo Code.
It's ugly in any language, let me tell you. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That's great.
So the Raiders
that's
now
great.
have to send it away. It's wonderful, though, the Oakland Raiders have decided to do that with the Navajo Code Talkers. Leckler gets a bounce. Loose ball. Picked up. And this is Leggett going down. Beautiful shot of Mount Diablo. Our score is 16-10. Kansas City, 4:38 to play. Chiefs with the football at their own 29. They pitch it. Charles breaks it inside. Bounces it outside now and continues to run. Good running by young Jamal Charles. Stopped by Warren and Alston after a gain of 8. And Charles, 15 carries, 86 yards. He has one 100-yard game in his career last year against Tampa. 2nd and 1. There's a handoff again with room. This time he gets to the 44. Before Shaughnessy brings him down, it's a 6-yard game.
Yeah, and it looks like the Raiders have got to start thinking about getting this football back in a big hurry. 3.5 minutes to go in the game, both teams with 2 timeouts. The Chiefs are going to be perfectly happy to run this football, use all the play clock, and force the Raiders to either start using their timeouts or try and do something with a blitz or anything, and the Chiefs are just going to bleed this game away.
Raiders with 2 timeouts remaining. 1st down and 10 at the 44. Corner blitz. Charles changes directions again. Picks up 2 yards. But more importantly, the clock continues to run. Cable has a decision to make. When will he stop it? You have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. I was surprised on their last offensive series that they didn't throw the football.
Yeah, I mean, they've been so successful doing it, and even with Gradkowski, they tried the one long shot down the field, and it just wasn't good enough. They ended up punting it away.
2nd down and 8 at the 46. Raiders defense got to get him off the field. Chiefs have done a nice job running the ball. Colby Smith is in now. Here's Colby. Has to stay in bounds. And does. And he picks up a 1st down. But a flag is on the play. Alston with the tackle.
And this is going to come back.
Holding. Offense number 45. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Leonard Pope, the tight end.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, Gus, it's not so much the yardage for the Raiders at this point, it's the time. Right up here at the top of your screen, this ball's going to bounce out. Now, it's not supposed to, but Pope doesn't know that, and as the defender tries to move away, he's got to let go of him. He's got a handful of jersey right there working against Alston, and it's pretty easy on the edge to make that call for the officials, and they'll call it every time.
2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Chiefs now faced with the 2nd and 18 at the 36. They stretch it out. Colby Smith, and he is stood up and taken down. That's Alston. Well, that should take us to.
Yeah, and that's the Raiders' first timeout, and that's the
timeout
right time
exactly for the Raiders.
Timeout. Oakland, their first.
2:13 to go. Chiefs up by 6.
And as we said at the top, the Chiefs have won 6 games in a row here in Oakland. It's been 2002 since the Raiders won a game against the Chiefs at home.
3rd down and 17 at the 37. Castle hands it off to Charles. Charles with running room. He crosses the 45 to the 46, a 9-yard gain. And that takes him over the 100-yard mark, his 2nd 100-yard game of his career. The Raiders will get one more chance at it. Kansas City will have to punt it away with 2 minutes remaining. And the Chiefs leading by 16. Colquitt standing at the 31. Johnny Lee Higgins at his own 10. Johnny Lee Higgins coming up to field it, and fields it at the 19-yard line. A 35-yard punt. So the Raiders need to score a touchdown to tie this game up. 1st down and 10 at their own 20. Gradkowski coming in the 4th quarter for Jamarcus Russell. McFadden in the backfield. Gradkowski steps up, throws over the middle, and it's caught. Advancing it up to the 30-yard line is Schillens. A 9-yard gain. Raiders quickly to the line of scrimmage. Oakland with 1 timeout remaining. Gradkowski to the sideline. Nice throw. Out of bounds. Johnny Lee Higgins at the 43. That's a gain of 14.
And this is where you have to stay aggressive if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't go into a shell. You got to put some pressure on Gradkowski. Make him play coming in off the bench like he has in the 2nd half. Get after him. Don't sit back. The Raiders have too much physical talent to just lay back and let them run. You got to get on them.
1st down and 10 at the 43. 1:27 to go. Gradkowski out of the gun. Steps up. Wants to run it, and does. Gets inside Kansas City territory. That's a 9-yard gain. Look at this kid come off the bench. 1:14 and counting. Silver and black back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a good decision by Gradkowski. Get some positive yards, get back up the field. You're in their territory, gives you a chance to keep moving the football.
This time they hand it off to Bush. make that Darren McFadden. And the Raiders let a lot of time elapse off the clock with that play.
Yeah, now they've got to keep it on top of it. That's not enough for a first down. Now they're going to ask. Now they had to take the time out. They waited too long. And I agree. That was you can run the football at that, but you got to know that you got to get up and get it playoff. They were counting on getting a first down on that second down play. They didn't do it. So then they were in kind of a quandary, whether you go for it on 3rd and short, but you can't spike it to stop the clock.
So now the Raiders are out of timeouts, faced with a 3rd down and 1, and 44 seconds to go.
Yeah, they're talking around now to Mike Carey, the head official, saying, listen, we should get a measurement. It should have been stopped so you could measure that for a first down. And Mike Carey didn't go for it. And it looks very close to me like a first down. They're not going to measure it or give it to him. So it'll be 3rd and very short, and that's why the Raiders were forced to use their last timeout.
You're absolutely right, Steve. It looks like it is a first down.
Well, they just moved the ball back a ball length, which took away the first down. So they respotted the ball short of the line.
3rd down and inches at the 48. Gradkowski dancing, throws off his back foot. Caught! Whoa! Haywood Bay. Gradkowski putting that one on the money. 38 seconds to go. Raiders marching. Gain of 22.
And he does a nice job getting his feet, and this looked like it was very close. And this one's going to be looked
Review
at.
the last play with instant replay.
Yeah, the guys upstairs wanted to get a look at that, and I think it's worth it. Gradkowski puts this ball out there, and it comes down to the fact, does Haywood Bay get his feet in? I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I don't know.
His right foot looked out.
Well, I don't know. That's no,
Ooh,
I don't think
incomplete.
so. His left foot came down out of bounds. This one's going to be overturned. Although we said that earlier about the challenge that we had in the first half with the Chiefs' first down, and we thought they were going to overturn it. They did not. And they may say, I mean, the only thing I can see, Gus, is they may say that his left foot was on the ground when the ball got there. Now, is his left foot on the ground? I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. That's really difficult to see. There he's got, and I think his left foot might have been on the ground when he did catch that, but it certainly did not come down the second time. And you can't have a better look at it than that, so we'll see what they think. It's a good throw by Gradkowski, and it certainly gives the Raiders a chance. I think there's enough there to overturn that. If you think if his left foot was off the ground when that ball comes in, if his left foot comes up before the ball is in there, and I think it is, I think his foot's off the ground when the ball actually hits his chest. There, and I think it is. Boy, man, that is a razor's edge.
Is that enough to overturn it?
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But
Do you think so? First you didn't think so. Now you do think so?
No, on second thought, I think his left foot, there's a chance that it may have been on the ground when the ball came in and hit his chest. I think there's a chance that it's hard to see.
So what is the rule?
The rule is if they don't see anything that absolutely says that his foot was off the ground and he didn't get both feet in, it stays.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Raiders catch a break. Here we go, 38 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Oakland with the football at the 36. First catch of the day for rookie Haywood Bay.
There you have it.
First down and 10, excuse me, ball at the 26-yard line. They send Schillings wide to the top of your screen. Lee Higgins is in the slot at the top. Gradkowski in the shotgun, pumping, looking, throws, picked off! Oh my goodness! a flag on the play. Darius Hayward-Bay.
He just bobbled the ball and gave it, popped it right up into the air for the Chief defender. Came right out of his hands.
After the ball was dead, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 59, the offense. First down, 15 yards in advance.
He's a rookie. That's all you can say, folks. He is a rookie.
And that's a catch that, and we've seen it all day today on both sides of the football. He comes out, gets good separation, sticks his foot in the ground, and goes up and just...
But look at his hands, how he had his hands.
Can't catch the ball. I mean, there's just, you gotta, I mean, you can teach a guy to catch, and he's got something to learn. That ball has got to be caught. I mean, you can't throw it better than that. And his hands, he's got his hands, yeah, his hands are just too far apart. You got to go up and pluck that ball right out of the air. He goes up as though he's going to return a punt where his hands are up wide apart, and he just doesn't pluck the ball out of the air. You can't let the ball get into your body. That's just a bad, bad job.
Well, this is one he will remember for quite some time. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, Todd Haley winning his second game, 16-10.